Hello, everyone. Welcome to our top 4 questions for the week of March 30th. I am Dr. Justin Zephyrin, and my colleague, Dr. Diane Thuren-Kosi, will go through some of the top questions for this week. For this week, the questions are: what are the system requirements to use Blackboard Collaborate? How do I manage my online synchronous sessions? How do I access, save, and share recordings of my Blackboard Collaborate sessions? And finally, how do I check attendance in Blackboard Collaborate? The first question, as seen here: what are the system requirements to use Blackboard Collaborate? There are 4 main requirements. Firstly, a compatible search engine. Note, BBC will not function on Internet Explorer. You can download a compatible browser such as Google Chrome by searching for it online and then clicking Download. Additionally, you can use the link to visit this link provided here to visit the BBC support site and then click on Step 1 and download Google Chrome. Note, you will need administrative privileges to your device in order to complete this step. Secondly, review and/or configure your device to participate in a BBC session. This includes verifying that your device has a built-in speaker and microphone. If not, an external device may be needed. To verify your browser settings, use the link and click on Check My Browser as seen here. This will scan your browser and detect any possible hindrances to using BBC on your device, which you can address accordingly. Thirdly, review your local device. To help you with this, visit the browser support webpage via this link, which will illustrate the browsers and further specifications required for the best BBC experience as seen here. Finally, once you have verified all technical requirements, then it is always best to test the compatibility by practicing a short BBC session on your device. This would verify that BBC is actually functional and ready to use in your larger class. We now move to the second top question, which is: how do I manage my online synchronous sessions? Live virtual classrooms can become challenging if they are not managed early and effectively. The following are some of the general protocols you can share with your students prior to or even at the beginning of your online synchronous class. Firstly, remind your students to mute their microphones. In both Blackboard Collaborate and Zoom, the microphone icon is located at the bottom of the screen. Instruct your students to click on this icon to mute their microphones. Once muted, a strike-through will appear over the icon as illustrated below. And in Zoom, this icon may change to red. Doing this prevents disruptive echoes, background, and feedback noises. However, remind students to unmute their microphones only when they need to pose a question or comment. Note, the moderator can also mute everyone's microphone before or during the session. To do this in BBC, go to the session settings and ensure that the share audio icon or box is unticked. Secondly, remind students to turn off their cameras. The camera icon is located next to the microphone icon at the bottom of the screen in Zoom or BBC, as seen here. Instruct your students to take off their cameras by clicking on the camera icon. A strike-through appears over the camera when it is off, as illustrated above. The use of cameras can pose a bandwidth strain and cause distractions to you and others in the session. Note, cameras should only be used when they are needed for demonstrative purposes, for example, and in such cases, you should advise your students about being decently attired. Additionally, remind students to raise their hands if they would like to ask a question or make a comment. To do this, students can click on the raise hand icon located next to the microphone and camera icons at the bottom of the screen, as illustrated here. When a student raises his hand, you will instantly receive a notification identifying the student. You can then instruct the student to unmute his microphone and state his question or comment. Once the student is finished and you have responded, He can then mute his microphone and click on the raise hand icon to once again put his hand down. Fourthly, remind your students to respond and exercise mindfulness. Netiquette guidelines include that they refrain from shouting, in other words, using capital letters, flaming, such as excessive punctuations, using emojis inappropriately in the chat box, or making insults. The virtual class comprises persons from different backgrounds and idiosyncrasies, and it is easier for things to appear offensive or be misinterpreted. Remind yourself to compliment students at the end of the session for their compliance to the aforementioned. Acknowledge that they were instrumental in ensuring the session was a success because they managed their microphone, cameras, and netiquette use. This allows for an even smoother or more pleasant experience in your follow-up session and helps to create a healthy learning environment in the online platform. I now hand over to my colleague who will go ahead with the other two questions.
Thank you, Justin, and hello everyone. The question I want to deal with first is how do I access, save, and share recordings in my Blackboard Collaborate sessions? Many of you would have done some sessions and you might have recorded those sessions, but you're not sure where you can find them. So if you look on that slide that you're seeing, when you access your link to your Blackboard Collaborate session from your My Learning course, to the top left of that page where you access that link, there's a menu that appears as 3 lines. This is what I'm pointing to by where the red arrow is. Once you click that menu, a drop-down list allows you to access your recordings. The next slide shows you what that drop-down list will look like. It's clearly marked recordings, where you're seeing this red arrow. Once you click that link to recordings, you should see another page that allows you to then have access to the circle with 3 dots, which is another menu on the right side. Once you click on that circle with the 3 dots, this will enable you to access links that can allow you to either listen or watch your recording immediately or to download. If you choose to download, the file will download as an MP4 file, which you can then save. And if you have an unlisted YouTube channel, for instance, you can save the file, upload the file to your unlisted YouTube channel, save the link to that, and share that with your students. So it's relatively simple once you already have your Blackboard Collaborate session there in My eLearning. The next question I want to deal with, and our last question for this set of recordings, is how do I check attendance in Blackboard Collaborate? Those of you who've been using My eLearning will know that you could check your My eLearning logs to see whether students have logged into the course. In Blackboard Collaborate, there's a feature that allows you to see how long your students spent in the session, what time they logged in, and so on. So to access that, you need to find your Blackboard Collaborate session in your sessions list in My eLearning. It will look something like this. Some of you might have created additional sessions. So you go to that sessions list and you select what we call the options menu, which is that circle with the 3 dots. Once you click on that, you should then see another menu, another drop-down menu. This is a truncated version because we didn't have the space to allow you to see the entire menu. But you will see this menu, and one of the links in the menu is the View Reports link. Once you click that View Reports link, it then provides you with another page where you can then click View Report again. And of course, that page that you're on allows you to see the time that the student logged in, the time that they left, how many persons attended. This is a test shell I use, so it's only 1 in attendance, but you would see how many students attended and the duration. When you click that link, which is, as you can see, it's linked, it's clickable, you click the View Report link, That provides you with a more detailed report. And this is an example of what a detailed report looks like. Note it provides you with the average time in the session, the time that the attendee joined, this is where the arrow is pointing, first joined, and the time when the attendee last left, because sometimes people pop in and out of sessions, they get kicked off and so on. So you do get the total time and the number of times that the attendee joined the session. So this is the more detailed report. And that's it for the reporting in Blackboard Collaborate. And that's it for this series of question and answers, the frequently asked questions for the week of March 30th. If you need any further assistance, please feel free to contact us at cetl_bl@sta.ue.edu. Thank you for listening.